Today, for the very first time, we're going to be listening to the brand new The Deer Hunter album. This, I believe, is the sequel to their incredible album that came out in 2022 called Antimai. This is Sunya.
Sunya business.
Sunya business. Sonya Deville. There's a wrestler named Sonya Deville.
Oh.
Sunya.
There's a movie called The Deer Hunter.
That's true. And there's another band, there's a hardcore metal band called The Deer Hunter with DEER. So, and if you look up Deer Hunter online or on YouTube or anything, or on eBay, it brings up all these deer hunting manuals and catalogs, which is pretty funny. So, hello everybody, and welcome back to another album review / reaction here on the channel. We are back doing some prog rock, and this is something I am so excited for. I have wanted over the last 2 or 3 years to find a way to force Cody to listen to the Deer Hunter's previous album, Antimai, because Cody, I think you would love it so much. And so, I was listening to it last night when I was falling asleep or attempting to fall asleep for several hours. So I listened to almost the entire album. But it's one of the most special albums I think I've ever heard. I don't think it's like one of my favorite things ever, because there are things about it that aren't necessarily perfect to me and my taste, but I think it's recorded as well as it can be. It's so diverse. There's so many different instruments all over the place. And I know you don't know what this sounds like at all, right? Like I don't know if I've ever even talked to you about this band before. Nope. Maybe a little bit I have here and there because I've told you about some of their other projects, but I love this band, and I love their album Antimai. And like I said, I was listening to it last night, and it's just so good. It's so good, and the scope of the project is so cool. And that's kind of what this band, and I'm not an uber fan of this band, so like I don't know everything there is to know about this band, and I have not heard all of their music. But from what I understand, that is kind of what their albums are. They are like projects. Like, it encompasses art, it encompasses photography, it encompasses the creation of the album in the studio, it encompasses live performances with all of those things put together. It's like this entire package, and each of their albums they spend like years working on. And they have released smaller projects like EPs and things, and they've also released these huge, enormous projects that divert from their main story that they're telling across their catalog. And so they are such an interesting band. And I just want to let everybody know, I don't believe that I have recorded, I know I haven't recorded a Deer Hunter album reaction on the channel yet. I know at some point I must have talked about them a little bit somewhere, because I can remember talking about them at least a little bit. But don't think I've ever recorded a video here on the channel that was just solely dedicated to the Deer Hunters. So we're not going to talk about it too much up front because I want to get to the music, but I just wanted to explain a few things. So when I was looking them up on Wikipedia yesterday, or on their Spotify page, that's where I found it, on their Spotify page, they are listed as indie prog. So that, so take that for what you will,
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, and that's like any genre can just be indie metal, anything, indie whatever, indie right?
Anything. Right. But when you hear it, you'll be like, okay. Because I've always had a problem thinking of them as prog rock, because it just doesn't feel that way to me at all.
Okay.
But the thing is, they are doing such interesting things thematically that to just simply call them like a rock band doesn't feel like you're doing them enough justice. They are certainly not heavy enough to ever be thought of as metal, ever. Okay. So it's really interesting. And they are one of those bands that can kind of do anything from project to project, from album to album. Like, they have whole projects that are like, here's an acoustic thing, here's just us as a band with nothing else, on it. Like, and all of it has to do with this like story and stuff. So real quick, for people who don't know who this band is, I just want to say I discovered this band. I did not know who they were until I was watching the last like 5 episodes of Attack of the Show back in the day with Kevin Pereira on G4 TV, which used to be my jam. I loved G4 TV. I still do. I will still sometimes go back and watch.
I was a tech TV guy.
Yeah. Well, but did you ever transition over into G4?
I mean, yeah, but everything was worse.
You followed some of the stuff like X-Play was a big important thing to me, and especially Attack of the Show. Like, if you think about what the internet is now, that is what Attack of the Show was. But it was it was like an hour-long curated, like, it was so awesome. I miss it so much. And they tried to bring it back too when they rebooted G4 for like a year, and it tanked. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. And I don't know, that format is just not like the highly produced. Like, if you're going to do a daily thing now, it's going to be like a podcast, you know?
Yeah. Yes. I think what they were doing was so much better than a podcast, though. And
well, that's the problem, is that you need a network's budget to produce an hour of daily content that's like highly produced, like a late night show or something like that. It can't really exist.
They were doing that. They just didn't have the funding, they didn't know how to fund it, which is what you're saying, you know, but they had that backing, and it was on whatever network it was on. Was it just on YouTube?
Just an internet thing, I think.
It might have been just an internet thing, but they had the whole website. Like, they had to, you know, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But because when the Attack of the Show when they were basically closing down G4 TV, and they knew Attack of the Show was going to be ending, the last 10 episodes of that show are like masterful, because they didn't care at all what anybody thought about what they were doing. So they just did whatever they wanted. And Kevin Pereira, on one of the last episodes that he was on, because he was on and then he came back and then he was gone for a while. But when one of Kevin's last episodes, he had his favorite band come play on the show because he just wanted them to. And his favorite band was the Deer Hunter. And I saw them perform live, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And at the time, they were working on this project, which is the Color Spectrum. And so, Cody, I believe I've mentioned this to you before. I have the deluxe edition as well, or the full project, the complete project. Yeah. So this is a project that this band did where they wrote 4 songs for every, I believe it's 4 songs. Let me look here.
Like 4 regular, like their little EPs?
Kind of, but it was for one project. So every song, every EP is 4 songs. 4 songs for one of each of the colors on the color spectrum. So 4 songs for black, 4 songs for red, 4 songs for orange, 4 songs for yellow, 4 songs for green, for blue, for indigo, for violet, for white. So it's 36 songs total. So again, that's black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and white. And I have the 4-disc set that comes with a bonus 2-hour DVD featuring a documentary, the making of this entire project, and some live acoustic performances and things. And then they enlisted artists, independent artists, to do artwork for each of each of the different colors and things. And so it's incredible. Like, it's one of the coolest music projects of all time. I have it autographed by 2 of the guys in the band because I got to see them live in Omaha, or in Lincoln, which is where I bought this. And we showed up late to the show, and it really pissed me off. But I got to see their entire set. Or no, we missed their set. That's what it was.
Oh, that would piss me off.
Yep, we missed their set because my roommate was an idiot moron. Thanks, Austin. But the good did come out of that, because I bought this set there, and it was before this had been released to the public. So I bought this, and while I was there, because they had a cheap copy for $6, I picked this up, which this is now one of the rarest CDs that I own, and it's unopened because I've never listened to it. But this is a copy of their debut album, Act 1, The Lake South, The River North. Oh. And this is Act 1 of a 6-part, 6-album series that they did across their entire career, of this single story about the story of the Deer Hunter. And this guy, and it says the Deer Hunter is a story of a boy, from his creation to his untimely end, the beautifully rapturous to the truly tragic. The debut EP gives birth to a story, and then this is their first album, but they released like an EP first. Doesn't matter. So I have that, and then I also have this, which is the Color Spectrum, but it's 11 songs, so it's 1 song from each of the 8 colors plus two from white and two from black. So two from white, two from black, then one from the other 6. And so this is just a single disc project. And I got this at Hastings at the time. And then I managed to very luckily find one other of their albums. You cannot buy this band's stuff at all. They're big enough that you should be able to, but they're also small enough that it makes sense to me that you can't. So like when they release a new album, like this new album, you can go on their website and you can buy their stuff now. It's like $20 or whatever for the CD. If I don't order it in the next probably like 4 months, I will probably never have a chance to have it again. And unfortunately, that is how their whole catalog, because I would give anything, almost anything. I don't have the money to do it, but I would give a lot to have all of their albums on CD, especially their Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5, and Act 6. I think it goes to Act 6. It might only go to Act 5, but I think it goes to Act 6. But I've never heard any of those albums. Like I'm saving them because I've been saving them for years at this point because just in case we get into doing this band and people like this and they watch this video, I would be 1,000,000,000% willing to do this band's entire catalog and react to the entire catalog. I think they are that good. So everybody that's still watching 10 minutes into this intro here, if you want that to happen, watch this video. It is. We've been recording for 11 minutes.
Oh, okay. It felt like much longer.
Yeah, sorry. No, but we've only been recording for 10. Well, because we talked for 20 minutes or for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. No, you're good.
Sorry. Didn't know I was boring you so much. Sorry, I feel like I have to explain certain things.
No, this is interesting. So now you said that this album is part 2 of a thing, but then you said that they've got all this Act 1, Act 2, Act whatever, like their whole discography is all linked together?
No. They have different stories going. And they would take a break from their main story, which is the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. They would take a break from that to do different projects, like this Migrant project.
Okay, cool.
This is their album Migrant. And actually, I just learned this. I didn't know this, but 2 years ago, they released a new version of this album that was more rock. They incorporated more guitars and live drums and stuff in it, which I've never heard this. I've saved it. I don't listen to this band ever because they're that special to me. So, whatever that means. I mean,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Go figure out my psychology there. But like, I've never listened to this, but I didn't know they released a whole new version of this that has all of the songs from this, plus like them. I don't know if they're all redone or some of them redone, plus like bonus stuff. And then they do like a whole live tour that incorporates all this cool stuff whenever they release something new.
Yeah,
and
it looks like they've done like a whole live version of Act 1 and a live version of Act 2.
Those are also recent on their, they did live shows for those. And that was when they were re-releasing their catalog on vinyl. So for a couple of years ago, you could purchase a lot of their stuff on vinyl if you wanted to spend the $40 per act or whatever, which is not that bad considering how much new stuff is. But so they started something new with their project, Indigo Child. So if you are you looking on Spotify at their discography?
Yeah, I got their discography.
Is that what you're looking at? Sure. So let me open it and see. So
that was 2021.
Yep. So 2021 is the Indigo Child, and I have not heard this album yet. I have not listened to it. I don't know what it sounds like at all. And the fun thing about this is, each of these projects that we're talking about, they could sound sonically completely different. Now, the main guy in this band, his name is Casey Crescenzo, and he is the Deer Hunter. He is the main songwriter and the main performer, and he does a lot of things. Now, the good thing is, this isn't like a one-man project, though. Like, every other dude in the Deer Hunter is phenomenal, and they just let him steer the ship, from what I understand. And they bring in ideas and things. Like I said, I watched the 2-hour documentary on the color spectrum, so I know how they work from that, and I've seen videos of on their YouTube channel and things. And they actually released a movie, like a studio quality movie, or like a movie studio quality movie over the last few years that I can't remember if I watched. I think I did watch it, but it was a documentary about the band. I'm sorry, I'm not the expert on this band. I'm just very excited to listen to this. So from what I understand, the story of Indigo Child was started with their album Indigo Child. And I don't know what that story is. I don't know anything about it or how it connects to anything else. I have no idea. Okay. However, I have heard and loved their most recent album before this one that is an album of all new material, and that is their 2022 album, Antimai. And if you go and look at it, Cody, you can see the cover. It's got this triangle with this like circles on it. Mm-hmm. So they created artwork for this, and you can still go to their website, or actually you can go on eBay right now. I was just looking last night because every now and then I look for the Deer Hunter on eBay just to see if someone gets a copy of one of their CDs and sells it before they know what they have. And I've never found a good one, but I keep thinking that they're one of those lucky things. But so what this story is about, from my understanding, having literally just listened to this album. So like what I'm getting from the lyrics and what I'm getting just from what they were saying at the time on YouTube, on their Facebook page and everything.
Yeah. And this is
Antimai.
album 2 of this trilogy, right?
I believe so.
It started with Indigo Child? Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think Indigo Child was like its own thing. And then they used the world building and lore that they created for that to start this new thing, which is Antimai and then now Sunya.
That's interesting. They have similar covers.
Yes,
all 3 of them.
Yes, I believe so. And I could be totally wrong. Please, everybody, let me know. Let me know what I've got wrong about all this.
I don't know. I can't really ask you because you haven't listened to the Indigo Child, so it's hard to say.
Exactly. And I don't know if it sounds sonically... Like, to me, Antimai, having only heard basically 2 of their albums, Antimai and then the entire 36 Color Spectrum song, which the color spectrum is different from what everything they've done before, I believe, because he set limitations on himself. Like, I have to write these songs within this time frame, and I'm going to do it at this studio, in this location, this part of the United States, with these people. And then I'm going to go do another color in a completely different, like in a desert. I'm going to do the yellow one in the desert with, it's that kind of like existential stuff, right? But from listening to Antimai, from what I can tell, it is a story, it's a science fiction story about... what I was going to say is you can go on eBay and for like $15 you can buy the actual physical toy that they made of one of these like guards from this story.
Oh, that's fun.
But yeah, so they have like this big deluxe edition they released of Antimai back in the day, and so it's super cool. And you can still buy some of that stuff on their website, but you cannot buy the CD or the vinyl of Antimai anymore that I could find. You have to go to Discogs, and it's like $50 to $70, and then they have the vinyl is like $170 or something. But we can listen to it here on Spotify for just the price of whatever you pay for Spotify, which should be only $10 a month if you buy the cards instead of $12 a month, which don't get me started on that. But anyway, this story that from what I understand is that there are 8 rings, right? It's a city, like a country or something that's like a huge city that is separated into rings. And it reminds me of Attack on Titan, which is something that Cody probably doesn't know anything about. But each ring is a different class of people. And so the further out you go, the poorer the people are. And
I've seen Snowpiercer.
It's exactly the same thing. Yep. And that's exactly what Attack on Titan is as well, basically. And so it's just like that. And it's really interesting because they do really cool musical stuff. And on Antimai, at the beginning, the album sounds so happy and stuff. And it's like there's so many things happening and it's busy, And as the further down you go, the more like authoritative everything sounds, the more like doomy and gloomy everything is. And so they really lean into that kind of stuff. And so that's what Antimai is. And I am deeply familiar with that album, and I love all the sounds on it. They use a ton of like bells and glockenspiel and xylophones and wooden sounding wood blocks and wooden mallet things and stuff. It's just so full of that. But then they also had a brass section on the entire album that played with them on certain songs. A lot of it was like lower brass, like saxophone and baritone saxophone and tubas and trombones, and I don't know if it's tubas and trombones, but like a stack section, but they were never doing like trumpety stuff. It was all like saxophony stuff, which I hate saxophone, but in this case, this is how you do it, right? And then it was groovy, and there's these really cool longer parts, and it's just so cool. The whole album is so fantastic from front to back. So if we listen to Sunya and Cody likes it, we 1,000,000,000% are going to do Antimai then. If more than we'll save 500 people watch this video. So if less than 500, if only 200 people watch this video, which they have a very devout following online. So if anybody's watching this, thank you for sticking with us this long into the video. I promise we'll get to the music in a second. But I just wanted Cody to understand what I understand about this band. This is a rare band for me where like I am almost more like hyped for what this album could be than what it might be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at Sunya. This is my first time actually looking at the track listing. Okay. So we have, interesting. Okay, so we have a 3-part song, Cody. That's cool. The Glass Desert Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. So this looks like it's actually talking about like maybe the area surrounding the city.
Yeah,
like more of the countryside and stuff. Because we got Wasteland and then cliffs and Stormlands and the plains.
Let me look at the cover art is like, it looks like a valley or like, some sort of canyon or something that a ship is flying through. So, yeah.
Yep. So that's really cool. And maybe it will have no connection. Maybe sonically it could sound completely different from Antimai, which I kind of hope that it keeps the same kind of sonic palette, because that was
if you loved it so much.
It was such a neat. They were paintings with such interesting colors. Yeah. And so, but I don't know.
But to go from a city feeling to a
country feeling,
with the wasteland, the desert, and obviously they're used to. I didn't listen to the color spectrum, but I assume each of those sounds very different.
They do, yes. Yeah. They do, and they also at the same time they don't. But
at least they feel very different.
Yes, for sure. And it was a lot about songwriting in that case too, and how he wrote the lyrics. And it was I think for Casey, the color spectrum was more of a how can I learn how to approach writing a song differently than I have done before. And that was, as you could see it from their catalog, that was only like 3 or 4 albums into their entire discography, and that was in 2011. So they've been a band for 15 years since then.
How did they get the funding to make an album like that?
Well, they used to be in a band called The Receiving End of Sirens, which was a metal band. Right. Which I believe was somewhat popular. And then that's the band Casey was in, and I think some of the other guys. And they started the Deer Hunter as a solo side project for Casey. And they were all just like, wow, this is like way better than our other band. So they quit the other band, and then they got some new members, and there's been member changes and things. But cool. I'm just really excited for you to hear this.
Yeah, me too.
Now, before we get into this, though, I want to just very briefly bring up that we have tried listening to prog stuff here on the channel before, and we've
this channel has not become a prog channel despite our best efforts.
Yeah, we tried. We tried with Yes, and we tried with.
We're like, maybe prog will be our next thing on this channel, and it's
I did try, but the Yes fans were so terrible to us in the comments.
I mean, it got views. That's the problem. It got views. It's just not the right kind of people.
Yeah, right. And we did enjoy it. We loved Yes. Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was great. And so we still want to do some more of that. We want to do ELO. Cody wants me to do Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
ELP.
Yep. Which I swear every time I see that it's the cover of a Tool album, because it just looks like a Tool cover.
Yeah, it's H.R. Geiger.
But, okay, sure. That was probably very influential for Tool, I'm sure. Yeah. So we want to do more stuff like that. And I'm excited to have, Cody, are you familiar with like any modern prog music really at all?
Nope.
No. Okay. So
I don't even know what that would be.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, if just hearing that, is there anything you can think of to try to like, what do you think would make?
I mean, I've struggled to even define what prog rock is from the 70s. Like, it's I think of it as like complex, long songs, like sometimes some like weird time signatures and stuff.
Musicality, right? Lots of musicality.
Yeah, like
technical musicianship.
Yes, technicality and like, I don't know, like certain instrumentation, but that wouldn't really apply. I don't expect a lot of like organs and stuff on this,
right?
Or like that kind of 70s prog
sure
sound. So I don't know,
like psychedelic rock sound.
Yeah, exactly,
which is to me what I kind of would associate with 70s prog
it was
rock.
Kind of an evolution of the psychedelic rock.
Yes, yeah. And then also lofty ideas. I feel like that's part of the prog thing, is like this like sort of, I don't want to say superior feeling of superiority, but like this like lofty big ideas type of thing. I mean, with the
And
stuff
it can
that I'm
be,
familiar with.
you know, it can be a little pretentious for sure. I don't want to say certain bands are pretentious, but certainly
Yes, it's pretentious, so 1,000%.
Their
in the
fans are
70s.
at least. So
Right.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't want to hold that against it preemptively. So
Sure. And so I just kind of wanted to just talk about that just very briefly up front and just to kind of set our minds right in the right space and see what you think. Because you may listen to this and be like, this doesn't feel prog to me at all. And if that's the case, that's fine. But I think you'll agree with me, that unless this is so different from anything that I've heard of theirs, like I think you'll agree that there's more to this than just being like a rock band or like an
indie rock
like
band.
a hipster band type thing, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what another word I would associate with them for sure. Like, I believe they are from Seattle. They're definitely from that area of the country. They all wear like flannel and they look like loggers, and they're big burly dudes with beards, and they look like lumberjacks.
Yeah.
So like so yeah, let's just get into this and we'll see what happens. Looking at the song lengths real quick, we have a 7, 3.5, 5, 5, 7.5, 5.5, 7.5. So pretty long. The whole album itself is about a little over 40 minutes long. And this was just released last week. So,
Okay.
all right. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
I have not heard a second of this. I did not listen to a single. I've not heard anything that they've posted. I've seen stuff they posted about the album on Facebook. Thankfully, they're one of those bands that still does stuff on Facebook, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything. I don't know what this sounds like at all. So the first track, The Wasteland, in 3, 2, 1.
Not really what I expected.
Well, yep, give it time.
Is that a jaw harp?
I would say it's all synths,
Okay.
but it could be.
This is not what I expected at all.
It's actually way more like Yes than I was expecting.
This is cool. This sounds like the fake band from Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay. See, their last album had a lot of acoustic human elements to it.
Yeah. Okay, this is what I expected. Vocals like this.
Okay.
I love that synth.
Yes. I like that mono guitar right in the middle.
Too bad there's no lyrics on this.
It's too early, I guess.
Yeah.
They haven't put them out there yet.
I'll just have to listen with my ears.
You could look it up. I'm sure there's on Genius or something. I'm sure. If you want to do that, please do. So far it's got a lot more of a dreamy quality to it
Oh, for sure.
than like more reverb and stuff, but not detrimentally. I hear like a kabasa. Yeah, I think that's a kabasa, right? The vocals are maybe a little bit quiet. I keep wanting to like turn it up.
Yeah.
Awesome vocal harmonies.
After brick, the house keeps crumbling down. Stone by stone, lost or abandoned, then stolen or found. The house keeps crumbling down.
The things on the sides are too loud almost, I feel. Like the sound effecty things on the sides, that could be like a mastering thing, but I feel like the middle kind of feels a little empty, or it's being pushed down, mix-wise.
Okay.
Like the snare drum really is not very present.
No. Okay, that's the most prog it sounded to me.
Yeah.
That little progression there. Yeah. I like when it slows down like this.
Yeah.
I would not say this has a Wasteland feel to it.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. There's like all these 80s sort of sounding synthy things.
Yeah.
That was not present on the previous album at all.
Okay.
So they're leaning more into like the sci-fi aspect of it, it feels to me.
Yeah.
Which I really like. But like I said right away, very dreamy.
Yeah.
Very dreamy
Definitely.
feeling. Lethargic almost, like this part.
Yeah. Yeah, when I think of a Wasteland, I think of like Mad Max or something, and it's like, imagine this playing over that. It doesn't work.
Yes.
But I like the song. I don't know.
Yeah.
See how it ends.
String section. I'm sure it's real strings, knowing these guys.
Yeah. That's cool. Very ominous.
Yeah. We'll pause it after this is done. Because it'll probably go right into the next thing.
Probably, yeah.
It did.
I'm interested in what the next one sounds like with ending like that.
Me too. So, I want to get the somewhat negative thing out of the way first. I'm not sure if I enjoy the like enveloping way the sides of the mix feel.
Yeah.
And that could be a mastering thing. We've talked about that. Chris Parker and I talk about it a lot. Nowadays with mastering, one of the most important things that mastering engineer does, according to society, is makes the mix feel as wide as possible, right? You want your mix to sound so wide. And one of the ways that some of the plugins and the different tools that mastering engineers use to achieve that effect is you use these plugins and things to kind of basically think about it like creating a hole in the center of the mix where certain things exist, certain frequencies, and then they kind of like wrap the sides up around it. if that makes sense. It's very that's a oblique way or whatever, like a weird way of saying that. But what happens is when you're mastering using the certain mastering techniques, what ends up happening is the signals that are mono signals or that are more present in the middle kind of end up getting tamped down a little bit. And the things that are on the side really get accentuated. And that can do with frequencies, that can deal with just this overall volume signal level too. But what sounded to me, what was happening there was it almost felt like there was like a hole in the middle of the mix. And the things on the sides were so loud and so present and like dry or wet, depending on what the sounds were. They were just right there in my ears. And what was happening in the middle was the focal point of the song, though, but it was almost hard for me to, my ear was not drawn into the middle. It was drawn to the sides for almost the entire song. And so to me, that was distracting, and it felt like that wasn't that great, in my opinion. Now, that being said, I don't think the song was ruined. I don't think that was done so poorly that I couldn't listen to this again and enjoy it or anything like that. Because we listen to stuff here on the channel a lot where I'm like, that was so bad, I'll never enjoy this. I'm not worried about that yet, but I do think that was a bit of a thing to the mix's detriment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So now, with that out of the way, I will not mention that again unless it starts to bother me a lot in subsequent songs. But that sounded very much like the Deer Hunter to me. Exactly what I wanted it to be. Different though. Like I said, they have different colors on their sonic palette this time, and I really enjoyed all those synths and things at the beginning when you're like, "This is not what I expected." It wasn't what I expected either. So that was very different, and I really liked it. Because I love like 80s synths and stuff. You and I both, I love that. And so I'm really intrigued about that. And I'm wondering if that will continue on as a trend through the whole album or if they were just doing it there. I don't know.
Yeah. So. And looking at the cover art, it's kind of a little vaporwave-ish kind of a style compared to their last covers.
For sure. Here, hold on.
I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. I was surprised after seeing the titles is like, okay, Wasteland, Marauders, Desert.
Yep.
This is really not what I expected, but yeah, it's cool. I would love if that theme kind of continued and they all kind of sounded like that.
I'm opening the cover and zooming in on it and looking at it. See, I really like antimai.
I love how the exhaust from the ship like extends out beyond the bounds of the triangle.
Yes, that's very cool. Yes. Yeah. And the colors they're using here, I have seen so many album covers like this over the last year. I just did a Pussifer reaction that I haven't released yet. So this Pussifer album, the White Lies album from last year, and then there was another one that used this same style of like a shape in the middle with a picture inside of the shape and then like a border and then really nice, like almost looking like the cover of a book.
Yeah,
more than the cover of an album. There were multiple albums that were released last year and then earlier this year with the Pussifer album that look very similar to this, but this is a triangle and not a square like those other albums. Yeah. But I pointed it out in the Pussifer video, and I've been editing the video. I didn't get it done yet, but I put all of the covers like right next to each other in the video, and you're like, oh man, this is a theme that's happening here, even though none of those artists are connected whatsoever. But
and to be fair to the Deer Hunter, this is just continuing from 2021. So.
Exactly, yes. Yep. And so, and I really like the Antimai cover because it feels like that album, it looks like that album feels.
Yeah.
It's more...
I can see that with how you described it.
Yeah, and just like even the way they wrote Sunya on the front of it, like with the shiny, like metallic looking and stuff, as opposed to the way Antimai was written on their last one, which is more like something like set in stone or like written on a piece of paper. It feels very organic sounding, which is how that album sounded. And so this album with the like shiny surface and the metallic and the ship in the distance and everything, and like the colors of the exhaust, like you said, or the sparks.
Yeah, even the exhaust is like colorful.
Yeah, it very much definitely, like you said, vaporwave, like dark, son of some sort of more synths based stuff.
Yeah.
Just looking at the cover. So the fact that we got that in the first track is cool. So how did you feel about the vocals?
Oh, it was all right. I guess it's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
I don't really know why, but I don't know. If I was going to say like if you hadn't said the word prog to me or indie prog, I don't think I ever would have thought of that genre.
Sure.
I don't really know how I would describe this though. Like this is not something you would hear on the indie rock channel that I listen to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, or like the alternative channel or anything.
Yeah, sure. See, to me, his voice is so smooth. Like it's so smooth, and he's actually singing the notes, and he does a lot of the vocal harmonies. You can tell that it's him doing, I would say, a majority of all the background vocals you're hearing. But then they also do have moments where there's other people who come in, and they can all, like all the guys in the band can do background vocals and harmonies and things. And so they're taking advantage of that when they need to. But I think a lot of the time it's just Casey doing his own background vocals and harmonies. And it's all so tight, but it all feels really organic too. But it is that prog thing of just like layers of vocals. Like Yes did it a lot. Crazy layers of vocals with really tight harmonies that extend like really into the boundaries of like what a singer can do. So I really like Casey's vocals a lot, but it is always what you just heard.
Okay.
Like it's always smooth. And sometimes they'll do talking in their songs and things like that, which I don't care for talking.
Was almost a little bit of that.
There was a little bit during one of the bridge parts, but yeah. And
I could deal without those vocals the whole time.
Yeah. Yep.
It doesn't ruin it for me. It's not, I wouldn't say they're like immediately grabbing me, but they're serviceable.
Yeah. See, to me, I would say the first time I heard them, the vocals were one of my favorite parts.
Okay.
Because I don't listen to anything else that sounds like this vocally at all. Like I don't listen to any male vocalists that sound like this.
Yeah, I can't really think of something to compare it to.
Well, the thing that I compare it to are some of my friends' bands. The like kind of hipstery bands that some of my friends have, that the band that I keep talking to you about that does like Beatles inspired stuff. They could do stuff like this and it sound very similar. Okay. It's a very pleasant sounding voice, and so it's like I don't know. I've never heard him sing aggressively.
Okay.
That's not true. He can push a little bit, but I've certainly never heard him do any metal vocal or anything like that. So, but I guess that's just something we'll pay attention to as we go through the album, because there'll be lots of vocals everywhere. And then one other thing I was going to tell you that I didn't want to say because I wanted you to hear the song first, but this is not the type of band that does solos. Like they do not do like 10-minute long solos or anything like Yes. Okay. So some of those guitars we were hearing in there, where there was like guitar on the left, guitar on the right, guitar in the middle, and then that little type thing in the middle. That is not super, like they are very technically gifted musicians. They can do that kind of stuff. Yeah. But that's not what they're known for. If they have a long instrumental section in their songs, generally it is like a rhythm feeling thing and not necessarily some sort of a lead instrument solo thing. So
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I was really happy they brought the strings in at the end of that song.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get more strings across the album.
Okay.
Like more orchestral elements would be really cool.
All right.
So, all right, we are on to Marauders.
I hope this song is as brooding as the ending of that last one was.
Yes. And it was going right into it. So so we're starting from 0 on track 2. This is a shorter one, so who knows what it could be. Maybe more interlude-y, maybe faster. I don't know. This is Marauders. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, so it.
As soon as you see Nick kicking dust.
So it did cut off, just at the wrong spot.
Hey! No banner to wave and no flag to trust. It's an empty man. The command is tough.
Okay.
There's some aggressive vocals.
Yep. Whoa. A lot of effects on his voice.
Yeah.
And it still has the same problem. The outside of the mix is a little too much compared to the middle. Do you feel that too?
There's something intangible about it that I think you put it pretty well, but I wouldn't have been able to articulate it that way.
Okay.
Such a struggle, but their confidence will conquer you. For empty land
That's so cool. That like native yell thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Without you, they can plan for their survival.
Oh, very cool. Whoa.
Make me love another rival.
Dude, yes, the vocoder talk box thing. Vocoder.
On style.
I think that is a talk box, isn't it?
It's some kind of vocoder.
Well, not all vocoders are done the same way, but that
That's
sounds.
true, but yeah.
Ooh.
Do you know if they use a lot of old instruments, like old synths and stuff like that?
I've never known him to use synths like this before, so.
There's empty hands on the horizon.
Ooh.
And every bit of hope is gone.
I wonder if these guys have ever done a surround sound mix. Like this sounds like a Dolby spatial kind of thing, you know? The way everything's placed.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, dang it, that's the end?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so not really any chorus to speak of so much.
No.
Not a lot of song structure to that. Now, it's a shorter one, so I will say on antimai and on the color spectrum, they do generally stick to the verse chorus structuring.
Okay.
So not all the time, and they can definitely, break away from that, but that song to me almost felt like it was of its own very individual thing.
Yeah.
And it's the
I guess
shortest
we'll
one.
see.
It's the shortest one by a minute and a half.
Sure, especially since 3 of those are 3 parts of one.
Right. Yeah. And I could see those really not connecting at all, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it was very fast paced. Yeah, I don't know that I would have wanted it to go another minute or whatever, but
right. I don't think it needed to, but I would have liked a repeating. I really love that.
yeah.
Whatever that was. I kept every time it happened, I was like, was that a synthetic thing or was it a voice?
It almost felt like they were playing it on a keyboard. Or like, I don't know if like auto-tune would like snap it up and down like that. I know that they were kind of doing that with their voice, but it sounded synthetic.
Yes.
In a way.
I thought the same thing. I was like, is that real or not? Let's I'm going to go listen to it again.
It was definitely a real person, but like it felt like there was some effect that it's almost like they like assigned each one to a key and it was shifting the pitch and they were playing it or something.
Right. So you're right. It did sound like a voice, but yes, I'm gonna just hear that part again.
Banner to wave and no flag to trust.
So you can look around yourself if you want to. But
It's an empty man that commands his company.
so it happens at 22 seconds. I think it's just a person going or whatever. Like I think it's just a really cool. It sounds like a female voice to me.
Yeah, maybe. And it's just the fact that they're playing the keys with it at the same time, the same notes that she's hitting.
Yeah, it makes it feel a little choppier.
Yeah.
But I like
Yeah.
it's very primal feeling though, right? Like it's very much like a like it makes me think of like Pocahontas or like Atlantis or something like that from Disney movies. And so like that's cool. And the fact the song's called Marauders, now I'm starting to get this image in my head of like, okay, is this like you said Mad Max earlier, and now I'm thinking like
right.
Mad Max 2 kind of, and like
It's kind of like a Tarzan scream.
yes, very much inspired by that. So it's cool. Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, you build the story in your head of what it is, and I almost like and maybe they do have like a book written about this and like what the whole thing is, and I would not put it past them at all to release.
And you think of those two songs together. Okay, it's the Wasteland. It's like now I am picturing a film where a guy wanders the wasteland and it's just deserted, and then you get that slow song in the beginning. and then the Marauders come in and it kicks into this song.
Yeah.
Like, now I can picture it.
But it's like steampunky too.
Yeah,
you know, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
steampunky, and they have like broken down like old gadgets, like Star Warsy. Even though I don't know that much about Star Wars, but like the tech and the sand and the drapey clothing and like
Yeah.
which we're making all this up. You know what I mean? But that's what's kind of cool about it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Sure, yeah.
this band is just so neat. So, okay. And by the way, if we are totally making all this up, like if there is concrete stuff about this, like let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
Like tell me about it and let me know what the story is. I did a tiny bit of research before we started the video, like looking, and I couldn't, like, within a few posts or like Reddit threads, I couldn't find anything that definitively said like. And I was looking up the story of Antimai, which that's 4 years old now at this point. So the story would be out there and easy to find, I would assume. But so just let us know in the comments what's going on. But I'm digging the music. That was very exciting.
Me too.
So, all right, this is the Bizaarateria. The Bizaarateria.
Okay.
Sounds cool. All right, in 3, 2, 1. I love the mixing of the sounds. I love it. Oh, yeah.
There is no chasm between.
Oh, this sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Totally dry vocals right in the middle. Sounds wonderful.
Wasteland,
See, there's nothing happening on the sides yet, though.
where nothing holds its shape, and brittle bonds are built to break down, down, down.
His vocals are a lot more present here.
It's in this phantom space where give and take dictate the rules and
Bass sounds fantastic.
Mandate your
Slappy.
words to carry weight, and if they falter, plan to break down, down, down. Rise on the rise, it's inside. Is this everything you could dream of? Find out when you lie. Shouldn't have waited for want to tend to need.
It sounds so much better with his voice right there, don't you think?
Yeah.
It sounds so much clearer.
I prefer these vocals.
Shouldn't have let desire turn to greed. It's too good to be true. Admit to yourself you can always tell when the goodwill of others has ceased. You still
Wow.
have to train.
I love that I can't tell what some of the sounds are at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't tell if it's a voice or a synthetic thing or a guitar or what. I love that.
Prices on the rise. What do you want or need? Step inside. We've got everything you could dream of. Come in and roll the dice. Too late. It's too good to be true. Gravity pulls us close, but we tend to intervene. Insanity is tethered to the dose, and we're taking much more than we need. Oh, it's gravity that pulls us close, but we tend to intervene. Insanity is tethered to the dose, and we're taking much more than we need.
Every one of these rolls into the next song, but then it just stops and then
Yeah, and
does
the
a whole
next thing
different
kind of
thing.
starts. Yeah. That one felt a little short to me.
I was surprised it was 5 minutes. It did feel kind of short, but
Like, it felt like there could have been a whole nother section to that.
yeah.
But I mean, we're probably supposed to be listening to this all in one go, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought that one sounded much better sonically. His vocals were so present, right in the
Yeah.
middle, drier, and just right there. And I really liked that a lot. And
Yeah, I prefer those vocals.
I was
compared to the first
listening.
two.
Yeah, I was listening to that, and I was just like, man, this is so different from Antimai, but it's also the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, they did such cool sort of almost bordering on like being like funky rhythm stuff on
That-
Antimai, and they did that here again.
Yeah, that funky groove that was going on.
The Donna.
It felt like something out of
Da.
it felt like something out of like Toe Jam and Earl on the Genesis or something.
Yes.
like Sonic 3 on the Genesis.
Yeah, and it's so fun because like their Antimai does not feel like this. Like there are synths and things, but it just there's so many more like human, like organic elements to that it just feels different than this. It's so interesting, and I love the fact that it's part of the same project. That's so cool. It really makes me want to hear Indigo Child now. So.
Right, yeah.
But I promise I won't listen to anything unless we decide we're not going to do any reactions to this band ever again. Then I can listen to the stuff slowly myself. But I've been saving this for the channel, so
So do we don't know if Indigo Child is lyrically related to?
I don't know.
Because I could see them. Okay, we're going to have an album about a person.
Yep.
Now it's an album about a city. Now it's an album about
The
everything
continent or
surrounding
whatever.
the series, and it just like maybe you'll have a whole planet themed one next or something. You know.
That's awesome. I hope that's true. I just have no idea. I don't know, but it's really, I love it so far. I'm loving this.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it's, for the fact that we're after the next track, we're halfway done. It just doesn't feel like we should be that far, but we've got a bunch of chunky, meaty stuff coming up here. So, and I actually proposed to you that we listen to the entire Glass Desert trilogy in one go without stopping.
I'd be okay with that, and we can always change our mind if we need to.
Yeah.
but-
If something's so crazy, we can pause at any time. So.
Yeah.
So, but let's at least go into it with that in mind, and we'll
Yeah.
see. But yeah. So this is clearly the song that they released as like a single beforehand. It's got 112,000 plays. Not a ton of plays, but this just came out a week ago. But that's not giving me a lot of hope for our over 500 views on the channel here. But
Sure.
that's okay. That's okay. If all of those 40,000 people watch it, this will be one of the most watched videos we have on the channel. So, so show up, Deer Hunter fans.
They're
But
all buying it on vinyl, man. That's where they're listening to it.
that's true. And this would be a good band to listen to on vinyl. That's for sure. Okay, so we're going to attempt to listen to the Glass Desert trilogy here, but we're starting with Giants, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So this is the Glass Desert Part 1, Giants, in 3, 2, 1. This is also making me think of the Horizon video games, because they have such a cool combination of futuristic technology with nature.
Yeah.
And this is giving me those vibes too.
For along the path ahead of me seemed empty, never ending.
Very pretty.
Reminds me of the first song.
A little bit. He was mentioning like monolithic somethings growing over time or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's talking about mountains or something here now, or
I think they're just giants.
it could be. That makes me think of God of War.
I'll try to pay attention while they
More vocoder stuff. But also real vocals.
Circling stones, seeking some silver lining, afraid of a road with no map to define it. We're carving holes in the paths just behind us. We're still afraid what's waiting round the bend. Living in the dark keeps a mind in shame.
Yeah. I was figuring this song would have more of a chorus, since this is their single type thing.
Yeah.
Love it. Give me something cool now. Ooh. Huh.
I'm just gonna get instrumental the rest of the time.
We could. Interesting bass.
Yeah.
It's got a flanger on it or something. Strings. Let's go. La 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 la. I was just showing that this is actually a Deer Hunter shirt. And I believe this image is from a Monty Python thing or something.
Is that one of their album covers?
No. This is awesome. This is awesome, right?
Yeah.
They gotta perform with an orchestra sometime and record it and release it as like this awesome, amazing surround sound Blu-ray thing. We're gonna keep going.
Sure. I will say on Genius, there are like interpretations of these lyrics. There's annotations and stuff of people talking about very specific, like this is about the scientist doing this or whatever. So
Oh, really interesting.
somewhere
Okay.
there is a mythology.
Okay, that's cool to know.
But strange is the path that never bends. Makes me wonder if I know my limit. 'Cause that's a steep fall.
Harmonica.
Far enough to wonder if I'd ever hit the ground at all.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Lofty are the
That synth bass.
sights we tend to set,
Or that synth, square wave synth.
but death in wonder if I've reached my limit. You know, that's a steep fall.
This is so cool.
Long enough to wonder if I'd ever hit the ground at all. Deep is the abyss beneath me, and stormy are the skies as far as eyes can see. If I had a limit, I've surely breached it. Now I'm in a free fall.
This is my favorite song by far so far. Oh, yeah.
If I'd ever reach the ground at all.
They're doing such cool stuff.
Or the crash and then give us a call.
Dude, let's go.
You got some dark clouds creeping in. Heavy pressures really got you in a spin. So get up and move.
It's feeling more like that Bizaarateria song or whatever.
Yes. Well, it's less busy.
Yeah.
I like it when their songs are less busy.
But no foresight could fashion a defense from storms that just won't wait.
I bet they have so much fun making this, performing it, all this.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna keep you safe. Pick it up 'cause you're out of time. Lightning struck before you could hide. You can feel your lungs start to burn. Burn so bad you don't want to burn. One thing at a time, please, maybe. Mercy, mercy, mercy. You're running away. These guys are waiting for you. That's not what lies ahead. This is the wicked tempest, and now you're in the thick of it. No time is left for hoping, no time to throw a fit.
Does his voice ever remind you of any other singers?
Can't
really pinpoint.
Yeah.
Reminds me.
Yeah, it always reminds me of something, and I don't know what.
Yeah.
But it's something.
As long as you rise from where you fell, splitting the storm clouds as you stand.
A harmonica with those synth stabs is such an interesting combination.
It is. I love it. It adds like a little touch of the Western, but it's still got the like sci-fi to it. The way they're combining sounds.
It works together great.
Yeah, I just never heard anything like this, really.
Yeah.
It's like futuristic funk thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
So far, I'd say that the vocals are kind of my least favorite part. of all of
Interesting.
this.
Okay. I mean, I definitely agree that everything else is super interesting.
Yeah.
So,
But the vocals aren't offensive. I mean, they're
Yeah.
just... His voice is fine.
like, what else what could they sound like that would still work with this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
That's
When
the-
it's like his vocals, he switches up his style in the middle, too.
He
and
does.
It's like,
Yeah.
So the vocals are interesting.
Yeah. He's a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
This is the wicked tempest, best that you don't resist. So if you believe in something, it better be yourself. Power can rise in panic, as long as you rise from where you fell. Splitting the storm clouds.
This is like so many things together that I love. Like, if I could make music like this is probably like sort of what I would choose to make.
Yeah.
You know, just like really clean, nice sounding combination of all these things together.
Yeah.
And be long songs that are just like, not that I could ever make anything like this at all, but like, it's so inspiring to me to hear this.
Yeah.
I love the futuristic science fiction synthy elements with everything else. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. What are they saying here?
It sounds like someone who's only breathing in as they are singing. It sounds like someone who's only breathing in as they are talking. Oh, that almost killed me right there.
It's called inward singing.
We'll keep going. I love this.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. That was my favorite
yeah.
song, I think, on the album. Oh. The doo-doo-doo-doo-doo things on the side. Oh. By the way, in case anybody's wondering, I keep crossing my arms because I'm cold. I'm very cold.
You're not harumping.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here in frustration. I'm just cold.
It's like he'll sing like this, and then it's like he'll go into like sounding like Michael Bublé or something.
Yeah.
Like a crooning style.
I love that you can sometimes hear that he's singing with a smile on his face, which that is something, you know, you learn. And most music doesn't require that, or it would be thrown off if you did that. But he's playing around with that.
Sure.
Ooh, that's like a country western guitar.
Yeah. Twangy.
And there's acoustic guitar in this too. This is the kind of band, like when we did the Pepe Deluxe, it's like, how is this not bigger than this other crap that is popular? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just tell there's a level of care and quality put into this that so far surpasses so much stuff.
Yeah.
Because nothing is worse than when you lose your way. Where you'll go, where you are, where you were, begin to lose their shape when you're on the plains.
Even the way the instruments are being played with the bass, boom, 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 like they're playing it more like westerny.
But now you can see how hard it would be to live through this unchanged.
I've been reading about the. Remind me to talk about the story of this when we
Okay.
are stopping.
We'll stop after this song before we get to Sunya.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
On an
Do something crazy now. Such cool sounds they created for this. Whoa. It's like a hammer dulcimer type thing or something.
Yeah.
Which I actually have a dulcimer. I bought it at an auction over here off to the side. I love stuff like this. Giving it time.
That like digital distortion.
Yeah, it's really cool. Kind of a bummer that the last third of the song was just this, though.
Yeah, it fits the theme of what I've been reading, at least.
Okay, we'll pause it.
Okay.
Okay, give me what you got.
Oh, all right.
Where'd you find it?
Someone on Genius has, which I didn't realize. Genius at the bottom, there's a place where you can just like it's just about the song, and so someone wrote like a song bio for each of these.
Oh, okay.
And clearly, this is coming from somewhere because it's very specific things, and each song has an image with it.
Okay, so maybe it's from the band.
Yeah, I think it has to be, and I don't know where those are from, but
Okay.
it talks about at the beginning. This whole album is following the scientist as a character.
Okay.
And he takes a ship to leave Antimai and he's searching for the holy city of Sunya, which is where the Indigo Child is said to reside.
Oh.
So he's trying to get out, and so he starts in the Wasteland, and then there's Marauders, and then the Bizaarateria is a bazaar and cafeteria. That's why it's called that.
Yeah.
So it's like a stopping point for him, and then he goes into the glass desert. And I think the giants that it refers to are like giant crystals that he sees.
Okay.
And then, let's see, the cliffs in the Stormlands, just more going through the desert, flying over cliffs and storms and whatever. And then the one we just heard, the third and final part has the scientist flying through a barren landscape, the plains, with nothing else to see but clouds and sky. He is left alone with his thoughts. He tries not to lose his way while wondering where he is going and where nearly going insane. But he spots something ahead of him. And then I think he sees the city of Sunya, which is he's trying to get to. So
Yep.
So the ending of that song was kind of him leaving this desert with all these formations and stuff and going into the open.
Right,
area.
and just being by himself. That's so awesome. Isn't that
Yeah, it's
awesome? Isn't that whole thing just so cool?
Yeah.
I love it.
That's why concept, like every album should have a concept.
I
Why
agree.
not?
I agree. Why not? Or at least have a reason for something happening, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, it's also fun to just be like, hey, this sounds cool. Let's make it into a thing rather than having to like over-explain things too. Okay, so do you want to read what Sunya, the song, is then?
Yeah, this has kind of a lot of stuff. So the scientist reaches the holy city of Sunya. He can finally find the Indigo Child and save all who live in poverty, abuse, and low-quality lives of Antimai. Now, I don't really know why finding the Indigo Child. The Indigo Child is a con, like, that's a con. I've heard of that, right?
I don't know.
It's like, Google says it's like a new age concept of children that possess special, unusual, supernatural traits like empathy and psychic stuff. So that's probably what that album is about, is that child being born.
Sure.
And so this guy is trying to find that child. So it says spoilers, he finds no one in the city, only massive and confusing structures.
Okay.
He gets desperate and goes just a little further to hope to find the Indigo Child, but never does. Was the Indigo Child ever real? Have they all been praying to a lie? So I guess the Indigo Child is kind of like a god to the city of Antonia.
Yep.
As his world basically crumbles apart, he realized that he nor the Indigo Child's followers shouldn't look for answers in the form of the Indigo Child, but rather themselves.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think this is someone writing about this stuff. I don't think it's directly from the band because some of this is not written very well, but
okay.
It seems like they're pulling it from something specific.
Right.
You can't just get that from the lyrics for sure.
No. So there must be some lore of this somewhere, and I just haven't seen it ever. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
So
we'll see if we get the feel of a massive and confusing structure, a disappointment in this next song.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, let's get to it. This is the final track, Sunya, in 3, 2, 1. They need to make this into I wouldn't put it past them, like an indie video game, like a side-scrolling game or some awesome. Oh, that's cool. Why hasn't anyone ever thought to do that before? This combination, like just some little conga bongo things with this this. It's so simple and immediately amazing.
Destination's right. Your tunnel's giving way to light, but still you're devastated by the sights of all you had imagined. Within your reach you'll find anticipation and design, a smokescreen denser than you'd like that keeps the truth from being fashioned.
This is awesome so far.
Yeah.
Love the background vocals.
There's no deity to greet you, just impressions of design. But this bastion's built to blind, like a maze is meant to hide. There's no voice with all the answers, at least not the ones you'd hope to hear. Let go the ache of doubt and watch that burning disappear.
Okay, more brass.
There is no guiding
That's like bringing in elements of antimai.
defined, but still you're devastated by the heights of all you had imagined. You've been waiting so long, just a little further. You've been waiting so long, just a little.
Ooh, the strings too. All of it's coming together.
They chose to sing you lies, but trepidation and surmise, the notes bespoke intensified in time that swept out every passion. You've been waiting so long, just a little further. You've been waiting so long, just a little further, just a little further, just a little, just. When there's
That's so cool.
to greet you stop searching for design, losing shape and out of time. There's still meaning meant to read.
voice sounds so close all of a sudden.
and story shapes believe.
Wow, those low vocals.
And it's best
That's cool.
we temper glory in prophecies. Yeah,
The-
there's nothing in
The trumpets are almost like mariachi or like Ennio Morricone, like spaghetti western here. So it's keeping with that theme we kind of had.
Yeah.
and we lay too big a burden at the feet.
So do you think this is the culmination of the trilogy then? Or do you think it will continue on?
Well, from what I've read, I mean, there's no reason they couldn't expand that world.
Oh,
in
sure.
A way.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a banjo, but it could be an electric banjo. It
Yeah,
sounds
I
very
know.
plucky. Could just be a guitar though. Saxophone, by the way.
Yep.
Get that crap out of here. Yep, bringing the vocoder back. I think that is a banjo.
Yeah, I don't know if it's some sort of weird electric thing.
Yeah.
but it's definitely played and sounds like a banjo.
Yeah. Is it gonna fade out? Yeah.
Got your chalk back, huh? Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. First thing I have to say is that is the shortest 40-minute album I've ever heard. I could have listened to twice as much of that.
Yeah.
That did not feel long enough to me at all. I don't know how you can have multiple 7-minute long songs and have it just feel so short to me.
And it's supposed to be like kind of an epic story too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it kind of counteracts that.
But did it feel long to you? Like, did it feel like that last song and those last two songs really kind of drug on a little bit at the end? But I never felt like I liked it. I didn't feel like.
No, nothing felt like a too long 7-minute song. And even that, the 3 in a row that we listened to.
Yeah.
And they were definitely like
Separate songs.
separate songs, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was good. And maybe part of that was I was kind of occupying myself by reading about it at the same time.
Right.
Like, especially when the lyrics weren't kicking in, I was kind of reading interpretations of it. But yeah, it didn't feel too long, which I guess it shouldn't have 41 minutes for the whole album, right?
Well, right. But I mean, 40 minutes is still a full-length album, but I can't believe how short it felt to me.
Yeah.
That's my main takeaway from this, honestly, is like,
The songs never got boring.
Maybe not my main takeaway, but yeah.
Anytime where a song was droning, they would mix it up and the vocals would change to a different style or like,
yeah.
yeah, it never got boring in that way.
Yeah. I think the beginning of the album felt very different from than the end. Those first 3 songs Like we just kept commenting on the synth sounds and the 80s feeling and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is very different. And then by the end of the album, it kind of finished more like I would have expected it to sound at the beginning. So, and I kind of feel like they didn't utilize that kind of stuff as much throughout the album as they could have. But it was there the whole time. I kept mentioning it,
Yeah, and they introduced newer stuff, like you get more of the brass and you get that banjo and you get the harmonica and stuff once you get to the desert section and later.
Yes, yeah.
So I think that's maybe an intentional choice to change the feel of the album because he's traveling through different areas or whatever.
And they did a really good job with that because even if you would have never read that, I feel like we could have kind of got that.
Yeah, sure.
We could have got the feeling of that story. I mean, we were calling it. What you were reading was basically what we were saying.
Yeah.
They're traveling through the waste, which it doesn't take a genius to figure out they're traveling through the wasteland.
You could probably just read the titles
of the songs, but like
But it was good to find out how it related to the other albums, actually.
Yeah.
So
So before I go into a long thing about how I feel about all this, I'm just curious how you feel about it. Like with the story, with the concept part of it, taking that away too. Like, how do you feel about it in general? Like,
I think I said it before. It's the vocals are kind of my least favorite part of this, and I don't know why they're just not. I think I like music where the vocal is my favorite part of it.
Okay, interesting.
And it's like, of course, everyone wants to like the vocals, but like these vocals were fine. And to me, the most interesting parts was the instrumentation and the things they mashed together that sounded so cool.
Yes.
And so that did keep my interest the whole album. But I don't know that it's something I would listen to again and again, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I think it might be the vocals that is maybe holding me back there. And I don't really know how to articulate what I don't like about them. It's not that I don't like them. It's just that they're not, I don't know. He can kind of sing, however, like he can sing, they change up the style and it's all kind of cohesive, but he'll change it from just like, I mean, there was even in like Marauders where he was kind of like screaming at times.
Yeah. Which is,
and he can do it. He pulled it off and it sounded good. So yeah, I don't know, but for whatever reason, it didn't grab me.
Okay. And then, so then how do you feel about the story and all of that stuff too, then? Like the concept,
so
everything?
That totally adds to the album. And without that stuff, I would be definitely more down on it. But I love a good concept album, and I love a good concept album that's not too difficult to understand.
Right, for sure. It's not just like vague. It's like they're being very literal, like in the wasteland.
Yeah, and I think that's, maybe I'm just dumb, but it's like if I'm listening to music, I don't want to have to be trying to make my own interpretation of lyrics.
Right, for sure. And I think they did such a good job with that. So sure. I agree. I think the story aspect of it is really cool and only adds to it. Doesn't obviously subtract anything. But to me, I will say, I'm pretty sure, I don't think this my opinion will change. I'm pretty sure I like Antimai a little bit better than this.
Okay.
To me, Antimai is so tight. All of the songs are so tight. They feel so different from one another, but they feel like they all belong together. Whereas this album felt a little bit more hodgepodgey, which is fine. Normally I like that kind of thing, but I think that the mix was a little better on Antimai. Everything was tighter and it was more consistent across the album. Yeah. And so I like that more. And I like the more like organic feeling, like wooden sort of like organic sound of Antimai a little better than this, which is crazy because I love synths and throwback synths and retro stuff and video game stuff.
Yeah.
But there was a lot, like I mentioned in the first track, there was a lot of like dreamy qualities to this. Where
and that continued the whole thing.
It did. And so there was reverb being used. There was a lot of effects on everything. And I like that. I do. And I'm not saying that's in a negative way, but I think that some of the sections of the song were a little bit too busy sounding for me. And that is something that they have done with their music, and it's funny too. Like even when I think about like color spectrum, like I wouldn't say that I love everything that they've done that I've heard. I wouldn't say that, but there's just something so special about the band that's so intriguing to me. And I really do think Antimai is great. And so I think this is great too, for the record. Like I do not think that this was bad. I do really enjoy his vocals a lot. And I think I maybe even like his vocals more on this album than I did on Antimai or on the color spectrum, because it feels like he's doing a little bit more. Like it felt like he really stretched himself to his maximum limit here.
Yeah.
And not necessarily with pushing his voice, but just like doing all the different things. And I think he did such a good job. And I love to me, it's so cool that this album sounds so different from Antimai, and I love that they're part of the same project. Like, I think of them almost like together now, and I need to hear Indigo Child now.
Hear Indigo. Yeah. Well, now that we know it's all so closely connected.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, this is kind of the one that connects those two.
Right.
Story-wise.
Yes, exactly. And so, like, that's just awesome to me, and it really makes me want to go back and listen to the Deer Hunter story, like the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, because people just love those albums. Those are the albums that people fell in love with them. I think that it's more of a band sound. I could be totally wrong, but like I think it's mostly like guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and it's a bit more stripped. I could be totally wrong, but and I'm sure maybe as they went on, they maybe added more things to it, but like all the music of theirs that I know, it's sort of like the experimentation with the different instruments and the different sounds is kind of the point of what you're hearing musically. Whereas I think that their other stuff is more about the story and the lyrics, and it's more about it's more straightforward, I guess.
Well, if only you could have made it to their show on time, you maybe would have.
I would have known.
Got an idea
for sure.
So now it makes me wonder, like, what do they do live? Do they pick an album and like do one of these concept? I mean, obviously they released those 2 live albums that were just playing those albums.
I think when they release an album, they always, as far as I understand, they always do like we're touring with just this album. We're going to play these songs live. And maybe what they'll do is they have like a set, or half their set is this album.
Yeah.
And then and the other half of their set, or three quarters or whatever
that's so cool. I know they're like, it's kind of like a joke, as like bands is like doing their new stuff when they tour. It's like, no, you just want to hear the hits, but it's like, for a band like this, like that, it must be so rewarding to follow them around and like see them every time they put out an album and hear their new stuff and follow these stories that they're putting out. And
also
awesome.
Like they don't have hits.
Yeah, sure. That's
like
true.
if you go look at their thing, like they have, like they just have their like, so they have a song from, I think that's Act 2 or something, that has like 7 million plays.
Yeah.
And then Act 4 or whatever has 5 million, and then something from Color Spectrum has 3 million. And then other than that, they just have it listed that these songs are the top things that they're showing there. Like they don't even care.
That's good, because this should be listened to as an album, you know?
I agree 100%.
Like, I'm glad that's not just like a couple singles that go fairly big with them every time.
Yep. And so I'm just looking now, like, for example, Act 3, which came out in 2009, which I know people revere, that those songs most of them have over 1 million plays. So it's close to 1 million or up to like 7 million for the highest, but most everything is around 1.5 million.
Nice.
And if I go back and I look at, let's see, what else do they have? Antimai that only has like 700,000 about. And then
Act 4 Rebirth is like every single song has over 1 million.
Okay.
But like, obviously people are listening. Like, this is not what you normally see when you pull up an album from a band.
No,
these numbers are like
consistent,
very consistent.
Yes, because people are listening to that. Yes, exactly.
So they must have a very devoted fan base.
I think they do. And I think they're actually going to be touring here in Nebraska.
Oh, cool.
And I was literally, this is the way my brain works. I wonder if I could afford the tickets just to go to the concert and buy all their merch. That's what I care about. Like, I don't care about really seeing them live.
You could show up late again.
I'm sure it would be amazing, but like, I wish I would have bought all their albums they had available at the time when I saw them, because they probably had CD copies of every one of their albums there at the time, because that was back when they still manufactured CDs.
Yeah.
But like, if I look at the color spectrum, everything is 700 to 800,000, with a few of them that are. Gosh, that color spectrum's such a cool project. Yeah. And then, the Fox and the Hunt too. That's a whole other thing, and that comes. There's an orchestra there. See, I've never heard this. So their album, The Fox and the Hunt, says Deer Hunter, Casey Crescenzo, Brian Adam McCune, and the Awesome Orchestra. And I don't even want to.
Sounds like it's up your alley.
I don't even want to click play on that. But all the songs are shorter there, so that sounds like it could be like a. Conducted by someone. So that's, oh my God, why have I not listened to that? So I'm not clicking on it. I want to. And then Indigo Child, has only 60,000 on a lot of that stuff. So the Indigo Child, I remember at the time when that came out, people were like, "This is so different." So I think
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember people saying like that's very different. And I remember so there is no Act 6. Act 5 is the last one, but I remember when Act 5 came out in 2016, people were like, "Yes, this is it." And I think that's the end of that story. But they have been like waiting for a long time. Everything about this band is so cool. Their artwork is cool. The dudes are neat. Like all of it they're so cool. Just so neat. Such a neat band. If anyone from this band ever watches this video, you guys are badass and cool. I think that's so cool. I love everything that they're doing here. Everything this is all so cool. So
I feel like you should be listening to a lot more of this.
I know I should.
You need to be the one that knows all about their stories and follows all their stuff.
Like I said, I've been just saving it.
They're too special to listen to.
Yeah, they're too awesome.
Makes no sense.
They blow my mind too much, and I don't even know what they are. But like honestly, like I've wanted. Reaction channels became a thing in like 2021. So like I don't have much, or there were before that too, but that was during the pandemic is when everybody. But like there are certain things that I just haven't experienced because in my back of my mind throughout my adult life, I've just always been like, what if there's content I can create with this?
Yeah. If
even,
this gets a lot of hits, then you'll be able to go through all the catalog.
I would love it. Please
If this doesn't
watch
get a lot
this.
of hits, then you have no excuse to just listen to it on your own.
Then I just listen to it on my own. Unless, for me, a lot of it too is like, I'll wait till I find the CD out in the world.
Yeah, sure.
And only in the last like 5 to 6 to 7 years has that become you'll never.
You should
do
have
that.
seen how anti-Spotify Patrick was.
Oh,
just 5 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I would go out of my way when I was working at the recording studio and actually making money. I think I bought 65 new albums in 1 year.
Oh, wow.
So like 65 or in the 60s, I remember. I have a picture of it somewhere. But like just new albums that came out that year.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, I still love it. My favorite thing is listening to new music. And so like, even just yesterday, there was, I think 4 albums that came out just yesterday that I'm going to do reaction to.
Oh, wow.
Which not every week is like that, thank God. But one of my most anticipated albums of the last 10 years came out yesterday, the new Mesh album. And it is, I cannot wait. They have to screw up so hard to not be my number one. But this will probably be on my list for the year, I think. Yeah, I like it. I want to look into this band so much more, but like I said, I've just kind of been waiting. So
you have to listen to it again sometime and pull up those genius notes and listen to it with the eye of like.
That's a good idea.
Themes. Yeah.
Like, I wonder if you do get their like CD or their vinyl, if it comes with a big booklet that has stuff written in it. Yeah,
I wonder. That
would be really cool.
Yeah.
I should look on Discogs and just see if they have.
And it would be
artwork
cool
there.
if they put out those 3 albums together as
a triple.
set.
Yes, I mean, I would. Yes, yep.
Because this one could obviously fit on one vinyl disc. I wonder how long their other album was.
I'm probably not much more.
Indigo Child was 29 minutes.
Oh, so that's just an EP. I kind of remember that being,
Huh.
All right, I'm looking on Discogs to see if they have.
Antimai is 50 minutes.
Yeah, Antimai is longer. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look this one up and see if there's a picture. Nope, there's no picture of any artwork or anything. Let me look at Antimai. Okay, Antimai does have artwork, and there's a lot of lyrics. But the quality of the picture is so low quality that I can't zoom in on it.
The merch on here, they sell an Antimai coloring book on Spotify.
Oh, that's really cool. I've never bought anything from Spotify, but like I wonder.
Sometimes they have like a flexi disc of Antimai. It must just be one of the songs if it's a flexi disc. I don't know. Huh. No, what? They put the whole album on a flexi disc? How?
I don't know.
I've never seen.
What's a flexi disc?
They're like it come in a magazine. They're like paper, they're plastic, but and it's $10, but it's the whole album. I've never seen a full size like 33 RPM flexi disc.
That's interesting.
Cool. Oh wow, the flexi disc. They put a 50-minute album on one side of a flexi disc. It must sound like garbage. That's really cool though.
Okay, so oh man, I'm full of crap, I guess. So on Amazon you can buy most of their CDs, it looks like, are $13.98. Act 4 for some reason is $34. Actually, that's all it is. So you can buy Act 5, Migrant, and Act 4, and then some of their other stuff is not available. Antimai is not even coming up here. Yep, you can only purchase the MP3 version of it on Amazon.
Wow.
Huh, shoot.
Which is weird because it seems like they put out tons of physical merch, but I wonder if it's only for a limited time when the album's out or whatever.
And then however many they have left is as long as they keep it there then. Yeah.
Or maybe they sell it at their live shows or whatever.
See, I was really hoping that they would release the entire Deer Hunter story, like acts 1 through 5 for like $100.
Yeah.
I would buy that. You know, to have the entire thing just like in a big set. I wonder if the story's
done.
Well, I think it is.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, so I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts on this, Cody?
No, they were good.
Yeah. Would you be willing to listen to more?
If this video does well, sure. You know, I certainly did not dislike it for sure.
I've definitely shown you things you've hated more.
Oh yeah. It's not the kind of thing where I'm not going to go out and listen to a bunch more, listen to this probably even again. But
okay. So,
I liked it, so, if that makes sense.
So just out of curiosity, like, would you rather listen to Yes or this?
Oh,
not that it's the same thing. It's clearly not.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I did kind of get a sense of like what indie prog might be.
Yeah.
I was kind of hearing that in places where I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds like an old thing a prog band would do.
Yeah.
And I don't really know exactly how to define that still, but I kind of get it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not super into Yes, but I'd probably, I don't know. I always tend to go towards older stuff.
Okay, and that's fine. I was kind of anticipating you liking this a lot. I'm kind of surprised that and that's fine. You didn't say that you hated it or anything like that.
No, it was good.
You did like it. I'm just kind of surprised that you weren't like, oh, this is like so good compared to so much stuff we've listened to, like, and stuff like that. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be a downer because I did think it was good, but
yeah.
It just didn't grab me as like this band is so special to me kind of thing. You know?
Okay.
So
that's cool. I mean, they definitely do that to me, but
yeah.
But as I said, though, before we even started, like, not everything that they've ever done do I think is like amazing. So
yeah, and it sounds like they've changed up just by reading about their stuff and what we've been talking about. It sounds like they've done a lot of different things.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about them, you know, too. So for sure. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I want to say, if you watch this and you like this and you're a fan of the Deer Hunter, I don't have a Twitter account or an X account or whatever. I don't do anything. So, like, if you have a way, if you belong in Deer Hunter circles, post this video there so people can see it and we get a few more views. And if we get, like I said, over 500 or whatever, I'm not going to put I guess I can put an arbitrary number on it, but like,
it depends. If the comments are all great, and it depends on the quality of comments. It's like we stopped doing Yes, even though they were getting a lot of views because they sucked.
Yeah,
so it just depends how the reception is overall.
Oh, I don't think no one's going to be mad at us for this. I don't think, but I do think that if like I don't promote our stuff ever. I put it on the channel and it is what it is, and people find us organically or they don't. But like I would love even if Cody don't want to do it, I would love to do every one of this band's albums. Like I would do it myself. Like I think that band is cool enough to do this. And so if you're watching this and you're a follower of this band, like please, like do whatever you can do. Post this video, share the link in the things, tag Deer Hunter in your whatever, like however people do that kind of stuff. Do it. And then you can come join us at our Discord as well. We have an awesome Discord community that we're slowly growing along with the channel. Link for that will be in the description. We have a coffee account if you want to donate to us. Eventually we'll have a Patreon, working on that and stuff. But like, you know, none of that stuff matters too much, but tell us which thing we should do next of them. Yes. Although I'm pretty sure Antimai would have to be the next thing, but you don't think it would be Indigo Child? Unless people would say we should do Indigo Child first. Yeah. I almost feel like a guy could have done Indigo Child and this album all in one video, but you can't. The Antimai is a very hearty, meaty album. Like, I don't know if I've ever sat and
sure.
listened to it from front to back in a row, to be honest, because it just feels so much fuller.
Yeah.
But, you know, so yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. We will see you all next time.
We are amazing.
Yeah, we're pretty much the best thing to ever happen to your life or your television set.